What was life like during the Depression? Do you remember anything?
So we were very poor. We had a lot of children. The oldest three boys, they were three in a row each year. And then 2 years we had between the third and the fourth, there was 2 years apart. And we had three close together again. And it was very hard for me. I can remember that.
Yeah.
I was too busy. Otherwise, I love children. I love them. Yeah. All my grandchildren and great grandchildren. God gave me so much love. I can love. And I can love you too.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I guess it was hard then to keep food on the table and everything.
Yeah, well, we both got something from at home, you know, a cow. I got a cow and no, I don't know how to say it in English. A younger cow that was the heifer, yeah. Cow and heifer. And the horse I got in the house of dad. I don't know. Did you buy a cheap buggy or what? Anyway, I have often gone with, took some children along and then the others I left at the grandparents. Then I went to town with a little bit of cream and a few eggs. And they were around 8 cents a dozen, which didn't give much to buy. But a little cream. I remember our first call that I got from home, we had sold cream for $50 in a year, which was a lot of money for us.
Yeah. I guess the prices were equally
Yeah.
low then.
They were very cheap. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what to call that, when the Depression was over. Then that was the third year when we were married. Yeah. Then we got a good crop, and the wheat was around or $3 a bushel. Then we got so much money that year that we could buy the whole farm here in the That was our greatest luck we have in our whole life, I think.
Do you remember any of the dust storms, like the weather?
Yeah, well, just let me think of it. Storms, not then. We had storms, we had upper storms when we lived here, which was, we moved here in 1924. There once took our roof from the barn. We had to build a new farm. A new barn, I mean, not farm.
Fairly severe.
I am very excited to be. We had a sick man here in the morning. I've been kind of sick all day. Yeah, what did you ask her? What did I want to say?
About the weather?
Yeah, we had hail. I don't know, the first year, when we had a very bad crop. We had a bad start, but a good after a few years. Yeah, and half of our crop was standing in water. We lost that. And years later, that was here already, and we healed out completely. That was a shock too.
Did you have any insurance then?
No insurance. Maybe it has sometimes insurance, but well, we had hardly any money to stay alive for ourselves. We couldn't pay for insurance. My dad once had insurance, but we didn't. No, we just lived, and my husband was so strict. We didn't borrow anything. We had to live as we could. But our boys, they have gone more without socks in the shoes than they had socks and shoes. Of course, I knitted a lot the first years, but we soon started buying from Eats. That was our store that we always ordered.
Did you notice how people sort of got together to help each other out during hard times? Helped thrash or whatever?
No, but I
About how people helped each other during hard times.
well, they had it like thrashing. They did it by a company, the neighbors. Yeah, they worked for. Well, some had hired men. We never had. My husband always had everything himself.
Hard work.
With my help, yeah, too. I stooped the first years, but when the oldest boys they weren't big enough to stoop, pick up that. But they had to. I couldn't do it with all the small children. They sat and cried on the field, and then my husband said, "You go in your house now and stay at home."
I guess it took a lot of hard work then too to earn a living.
Yeah, that was hard. But we made it. Like I said, we could buy this farm, but we always lived on what we got from the farm, from chickens. We raised chickens, ducks, and that.
Living one day
But
at a
you
time.
should see the prices. I have a book there with my husband have written down how cheap we sold our ducks and killed turkeys and took them to Winnipeg. But that's so cheap. If it wasn't written there by my husband, you wouldn't be able to believe it. So cheap.
Yeah.
For all that work, I have sat and plucked the chickens and the turkeys. They're here now, not so spiely. I don't know how to call that. And it was a lot of work to clean them. But we had to make them nice, or else we didn't get the first prize, good prize. Yeah, that has been hard. I don't know how a person can live that long as I have to. 86 years.
It's an accomplishment.
Yeah. And I'm happy most of the time, but when I'm sick, then that's too much, too alone. Nobody in the house to help. Yeah, I wish I could tell you a lot more about here. When we moved here, when the storms took the roof of our old barn, and we built a new barn. The boys had to break this old barn down. And there was so much good wood in, and they built the new stable, the barn. But most of the old wood from that old, and then we put on a new roof, altogether roof with a hay floor. That was much easier. And when we could buy a combine, then my husband was so happy that he could do the work by himself again. Combine.
I guess most of the work was done by hand then, not
Yeah.
during the machines.
Yeah. I know the combine, you know how to combine. And there's no stooping, you know that.
Nowadays it's so much simpler.
So simple, and it seems so busy, as if it's much busier than we were then. I don't know.
I guess we all farm more acres.
Some, yeah, but here are a lot of small farmers, and they go bankrupt now. I don't know